Hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar of the ArcGIS API for Python. So today we are going on a journey to discover the amazing capabilities of the ArcGIS API for Python. Okay, and by the end of this webinar, I'm pretty sure that you all have a solid idea of what this API can do and how it can revolutionize your geospatial workflows. And these are the discussion points that I'll be discussing throughout the webinar. First, let's look at what is an API and what is ArcGIS API for Python is, and then we'll differentiate what is the difference between ArcGIS API versus ArcPy, and what are the requirements for this API, and what can it do for you. And then we'll look into for whom we are going to use this API. And finally, let's look at this latest trend, this ArcGIS in a notebook.
Okay, so I hope y'all can hear me properly. If not, just please Chamodi or Supun, just let me know. Okay. So let's first of all let's look at what is an API, right? In simple terms, it means application programming interface. Okay, so the definition stands for the application programming interface. It enables, okay, it enables two software programs to communicate. That's the simple idea of an API. Okay, so it defines how a developer should request services from a system or any other application. Okay, so I think most of y'all are since diverse background. I'll just forget about these, hard like terms and everything. Just imagine when you're in a restaurant. Okay. Now, what you do is you go to the restaurant, right? And you make the order. You call the waiter, right? And then you give the order to the waiter. And then the waiter takes the order to the chef who is in the kitchen, right? Okay. You all can see who is in the kitchen now, but the customer and the chef, they cannot see each other, right? But the food, after food is being prepared, the waiter takes the food out of the kitchen and gives to the customer. That's the same thing happens on this API. Okay, so we have this end user, then end user sends a request to the backend server, or then the server responds through the API. Okay, that's the simple idea of this API means. Okay, now let's look at what is this ArcGIS API for Python, right? So we have these three, actually four terms, ArcGIS, but main terms ArcGIS. I'm pretty sure y'all know the API. Now I think y'all have a brief idea what API stands for, right? Then the Python, most of y'all know it's a programming language, right? But what exactly is this ArcGIS API for Python, right? In briefly, okay, it's a powerful library design, okay, using Python for developers who want to work with the GIS data, right? And the web services, okay, which, so as you all can see, we have this organization, right? So similar to the kitchen, right? We cannot see from the outside what is inside, but using this Python language, we can communicate with the organization, right? Okay. So the Python today, it's one of the most widely used programming languages, and it's very easy to learn. Okay, and because it's very human friendly, and it can be applied to many areas. Okay, especially today we are using it for data science and especially for automation tasks. So at the latter part of the webinar, we'll look into what are these exactly, what are the key usages of this API. Okay. Okay. Now I think y'all might have a confusion, right? So earlier, those days we heard this ArcPy, right? It was there in the desktop versions. Now, what is this Arc API means? Okay. So the actually Arc API for Python and the ArcPy are two different things. Okay. So you all have to have a thorough idea. These are two different things. Okay, so the ArcPy, so it's a library which is developed for mostly geoprocessing, and we can do some map automation using this Python library. Okay, so it's this ArcPython is primarily focused on for the desktop application. Okay, so the focusing on the geoprocessing. Geoprocessing means it process geo data. Okay, and we can use it for some uh, automation tasks of mapping capabilities. Then let's go for this. What is this Arc API for Python means? This is specifically developed for ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise environment. So this is actually we are scripting it against a portal, right? I told you, if I go back to the, which is the example I took earlier, okay, in the restaurant example, the customer cannot see the kitchen, right? So it's like the we cannot some people cannot see the inside of the organization, but we have allowed, okay, a portal, okay, to access our data, right? Using that portal, we can script or we can communicate through that portal. Okay, that's what happening in this ArcGIS API for Python. Okay, so this ArcGIS API, so it is specific. Remember, guys, it is designed specifically for WebGIS. So it provides this consistent programming experience for scripting and automation across the ArcGIS product suite. Okay, especially for, as I told you, including ArcGIS Enterprise and ArcGIS Online. Okay, now let's look at what are the capabilities of this ArcGIS API for Python, right? So the three main things we can categorize is, first thing is ArcGIS organization administration. Second one is content management, and the spatial analysis and data science. So these are the three main things that we can use this ArcGIS API for Python. For example, if I take an example regarding this organization administration, the management of users, right? It comes under organization administration, right? So in the online environment, we have graphical user interfaces for these tasks, but if someone is not familiar with the GUI, you can use this Python API to communicate with the organization and do this management of users and the groups, right? And the items. Items means, so in an organization, right, there are users, groups, and items. Items can be, their data, the maps, okay, and servers, right? So we can manage these tasks. And also the second one, the content management. Okay, we have the content management. For an example, we can authorize and publishing content, right? So sometimes the field worker uh, sends data, right? So if the data is valid only, it should be published. So these tasks, the repetitive tasks, can be easily automated using this ArcGIS API for Python, right? And the third and the most important thing today is the spatial analysis and the data science, right? So this is very helpful in today's world because we have a lot of unstructured data these days. So we can use this API for data cleaning parts and the data engineering, feature engineering, and especially work with the spatial data. And we can, if we know the correct libraries, which libraries to use, we can use this API for spatial analysis and the data science. Yeah. So then the requirements. Okay. If I talk to you about the requirements, operating system, this API supports for uh, only supports for Windows 64-bit versions and Mac OS and Linux. So it supports Mac and Linux environment as well. And the Python version, it should be 3.9 to 3.11 if you're using this ArcGIS API. And also remember, if we want to use this API, we have to have this online account or enterprise account or a ArcGIS developer account. So let's look at what are the things we can do, right? Things we can do using this ArcGIS API for Python. So this, I told you, this we for the this there are a lot of tasks, right? In under these organization administration, content management, and spatial analysis and data science, we have several tasks, right? So we have the we have a lot of functions to perform in each of these areas, right? But the important thing is this GIS module. Okay, so this module, it's the most important. So it allows you to manage the users, right? And the groups, okay, and the items. So we can, so if you are using a free account, the online, we can work with this GIS module. But in order to go with the other modules, which are showing from the different colors, right? This geoprocessing, as you all can see in the screen, we have a module for geoprocessing, geoanalytics, schematics, mapping, graph, geometry, network, right? There are a lot of modules. So in order to work with these modules, there are some restrictions. And this module, I told you, the green color modules, uh, they are used to access the various spatial capabilities, right? And like um, these modules include then we have these geoprocessing functions, then the blue ones, which I told you about earlier, and this is out for working with the spatial data. Okay. Then we have these sub-modules and these orange color modules, which are which we use those modules to show uh, map items. I'll show you those things in the latter part of the presentation. Okay, so I'll take one simple example. I told you about this main GIS module, right? So module is something like a toolbox, right? So it has different function implemented in that module. So if we know the what are the functions to use, we can uh, do several several tasks. Okay. So in this GIS module, I told you we use it for manage the content, right? So let's say most of y'all are, I think some of y'all are might not familiar with these kind of diagrams. So this is a class diagram. We have this in the module, right? The main classes we can see is item. Okay, that means in an organization there can be items, right? The items can be what? So in the organization, your items can be maps, it can be data sets or tools or any other resources, right? It can be CSV files. Okay. Then we have groups, right? We have groups, then we have users, and each users must have a role, right? Now here we have a manager. The manager can, using this GIS module, right? The manager can create or get or search items, right? The manager using this module, he can search, get, or create items, right? So basically, he can perform these CRUD operations, right? Then using this group manager, okay, using this GIS module, he can create groups, or he can get what are the groups available. We can search what are the groups available. Okay. Then the users, right? Manager can search who are the users, and if the manager wants to give a role, right, and create a user, right, he can do using this GIS module. Okay, so this is basically for the management of the organization content, but in the ArcGIS online and enterprise environment, we have these graphical user interfaces for these tasks. Okay, but if you're not familiar with these things, you all can use a if you're familiar, I mean, you can use Python to do these tasks. Okay, okay, I told you. The important thing is this API is the automation of WebGIS management, right? And the automation of content creation. So, well, what is this automation stand? So it's, let's say, you know, I'll take a simple example. So picture yourself with a, if you're a, for a stranger in a, a rainforest, you know, this using this API helps you to, like, we can monitor biodiversity, track deforestation, and manage protected areas, right? Some of sometimes these days we are manually doing lot of things, right? Right. Some of the users has to create maps, then some of the users has to verify those data, then some of the users they have to uh, create it, verify and publish it on the web maps, right? But using this API, we can simply write a script using Python to automate this content creation, and then we can use it for research purposes as well. Then I'll move into a small demo. I told you this ArcGIS, we can manage this ArcGIS environment using uh, a different environment. let's go to this Python Jupyter notebook. Okay, so this Python Jupyter notebook, it's a very interactive web-based environment for you to write codes. Okay, and we can run codes using one place. And this ArcGIS API Python was developed specifically to make uh, like make the most use of the Jupyter's functionality. Okay. Then what is this ArcGIS notebooks, right? Uh, this is ArcGIS notebooks are specialized type of Jupyter notebooks, okay, that is designed explicit to spatial analysis and geospatial data science, right? So this is ArcGIS notebooks are developed on top of the Jupyter notebooks. Okay, so this we have this Jupyter notebooks, ArcGIS notebooks in the online environment, as well as the desktop as well. So at the end of this um, session, I'll do a demo using this ArcGIS API using Arc2. Okay. Uh, okay. Let me, for a moment, stop my screen and share it once again. Okay. Hope you all can see my screen. So we are in this Arc2 environment. Um, if you go to this Insert tab, okay, Insert tab, you have this new notebook. Okay, so you all can create a new notebook using this icon. So if you add this particular notebook, so it will take some time to load. Okay, so we have this. Some of y'all might not have, might not use this environment, but if not, just please don't get confused. We will, if you have any questions, just drop it on the chat. I'll address in the uh, Q&A session. Okay. Um, so we have this cell, right? We call this a cell. Okay? We can add cells, right? This. Okay. Then you all can see this. We have this drop down menu to select, okay, whether it's a code cell or a markdown cell, right? So markdown cell means, so if you, let's say if you want to write something, right? Okay, so this is my first program or something like that. And so once you, if you want to execute, right, so you have to click on this run cell, right? And let's say if you want to code something, okay, if you want to code something, you can simply say, you can write the Python code, import ArcGIS, right? So, and simply click on the run icon, okay? Then you can see this, if you get any errors, right? If you get any errors, if your there is a typo or anything like that, you will get an error, right? No module named ArcGIS, right? So the correct module is ArcGIS. That means, if first of all, you all have to install this API. So after installing, you are importing now this module. Okay. Then let's see. from ArcGIS .eis. If you want to see what are the modules available, you can simply click after typing the full stop. You can see these are the available modules which I told you earlier in the presentation, right? If you all can remember, right? So there are modules for geoanalytics, geocoding, geoenrichment, geometry, geoprocessing, a lot of things, right? And let's see, we are using this GIS module, okay? Yes, so import, right? Then let's say if you want to create a simple login, you have to use this tool GIS module function. Okay, it allows you to log into your environment. So as remember, I'm logging in as a anonymous user, right? So if it is your online environment, if it is your organization, right? You all have to, sometimes you might have to pass your username and the password within these due to in these parameters as parameters, then like that. So there are different criteria. Let's say if you are trying to log into a portal, specific portal, you all have to give the portal address as well within these parameters, within these curly brackets. Then let's say if we want to create a simple map widget, right? So I'll create simple map object, and yes, dot. Here you can see what are the submodules inside this GIS. Okay, you can, if you click if you press the tab, you can see what are the modules. I'm just using this map function. I just wanted to uh, uh, visualize a simple map, right? Map, and I'll pass Sri Lanka. Sorry. Okay. So you all have to have a idea of what are the syntax of using this Python programming language. I won't be discussing those things because if you need a specific training, you all can contact Chamudi. And sometimes it might take some time due to the network connection. But I'll show you. So if the kernel, the no cell is idle, you all can see the kernel is idle, right? And okay, so this is so if you want to use a map widget to display a simple map, you can use these functions, right? And if you want to you know display the items which are in your organization, you can use these functions to search what are the items, and you can add those things to your map. Okay, then this is I tried before. Then if let's say actually I'm working with this available data, which is freely available data from the S3 cloud. But just give me a second. Yeah, I think there was some error. Can you all see screen now? So if you don't see the screen, just please just drop a message. Anyone in the audience? Y'all can see the screen, right? Anyways,
Yes,
so we
Sakira,
can
we can see.
yes, okay, perfect. Now you can we can search what are the items, okay, using this search function, right? We can say what are the things that we want to see, right? So this is I'm searching for the imagery layer, right? So this is available data set which is published by the S3. I'm using available data set, but in order to work with these things, you all might need to have a online account. Okay. Then we can add those layers, this data to the maps. Okay. Mm, these are some of the capabilities that the ArcGIS notebook stands for. Basically, it just imagine if you have a lot of unstructured data in your organization. So if you have a person who is familiar with this API and these programming concepts, you all can use this notebooks to get those data into your ArcGIS environment. And so if data has to be cleaned or data has to be processed, so there are a lot of Python libraries to do those tasks. And finally, y'all can simply give an output, right? Okay. What I wanted to share you before I just give me a second. So yes, hope y'all can see the screen. So this is this ArcGIS notebook. Okay, so it has we can work in the desktop and we can work it in the cloud or the environment enterprise environment, or we can if you have a developer account, we can work with this ArcGIS notebooks. Okay, then as I told you, we can do data engineering, spatial analysis, and machine learning and AI. We can do automation, and we can do collaboration tasks, and we can do storytelling, right? Okay. So it's just simple. Okay, we have to add data, right? Okay, then just visualize. So if you know what are the things, tools, the modules to use, we can do those things, right? Um, Okay, this is actually available across the GIS ArcGIS platform. So you can, as I showed you, you can use it on your desktop. Okay, so if you have an enterprise environment, you can use it in the enterprise environment as well. Okay, and in the ArcGIS online accounts in the cloud, you can use these notebook features, notebook environment. Okay. Okay. Then I'll move on to my slide.
Hi, Sat. I think you are muted. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, Supun. I was talking about, sorry. Actually, I was talking about, I just wanted to give this message. It's about, GI is about uncovering the meanings and the insights from within the data. Okay, it is rapidly evolving and providing a whole new framework and process for understanding. Okay, so with that, I want to move back to some of the examples that we can do using this ArcGIS API. So for that, I'll be using this Jupyter Notebook environment. Okay, so this is the Jupyter Notebooks. You can use it. I mean, if you know the codes, same as that from ArcGIS, import GIS, you have to first after installing the API, you have to import it, okay, in order to use it. Then if you want to create a login, right? So you have to use this GIS function, as I told you. This is just an anonymous login. Okay. Then you can use this search function, right? So I told you to give the necessary parameters. Then we can search what are the items which are displayed, right, in this your organization. Right? For example, I'll show you. These are the data sets which are available, right? For the search parameter, fire, right? And the item type, a feature layer, right? So we are searching the terms related to fire and the feature layer. So it will be displaying only the first 5 items, right? Maximum 5 items, right? So you can see these are feature layers, okay, feature layers, and we can see very in a interactive way, okay? And then okay, then if you want to display a map, you can, as I told you, in this ArcGIS environment, you can use this map widget, right? Then you can simply create a map, right? So these are the very few capabilities of using this ArcGIS API for Python, right? So if you want to like learn about a lot of there are more capabilities. So if you want to inquire about them, just drop us an email. And okay, so if you have any questions, I'll be open up to the Q&A now.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. I have a
Hello.
question.
Okay.
Are you listening me?
Yes.
Uh, Actually, I have a question. I'm Shujit Kumar Rai from Bangladesh, and I have a
Okay.
specific question. But before that,
Mhm.
I'm going to thank you that for the nice presentation and your practical session. And my
Okay.
question is here that actually, what's the special benefit of using Python API in respect of why not we are going to use the ArcGIS or ArcGIS Pro, and why we want to go for the API actually? What's the specific benefit in this flow actually? That's my question.
The specific benefit would be because some of the people they are not familiar with this ArcGIS environment, right? So if we have this, some of the data scientists today, right? There are people who are familiar with the Python coding and the Python the special the data science working flow, right? So this is just to connect those two people, right? So that's the importance of using this API.
So in this way, I
Yes.
can say that actually Python API is an integrated way that who is actually a programmer or who is actually know the machine learning or deep learning, he can use
Yes.
the same flow to use ArcGIS as well as for his programming, right?
Yes, yes, because like if you go, there are a lot of I told you if there are a lot of modules like for the machine learnings, uh, especially there are a lot of pre-trained models in this ArcGIS Learn module, right? So you can use those things. If you are familiar with these things, we can use this. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any
Thank you so much.
questions? Okay.
Excuse Satira, shall I add something to that?
Yes.
Um,
Sure, Spoon.
yeah, actually, one important thing is we can automate certain processes. Say, for example, 2019, we did an application. One side, there was a API for expose from kind of a health information sector. It's a API exposed with some data with the daily COVID details, but the information is just kind of a information set with some hospital-based COVID information. So the other side, we wanted to have a ArcGIS dashboard. So it's kind of a tool inside the ArcGIS platform. So to have the integration between these two components, we used ArcGIS API for Python, and it automated the process uh, by obtaining data from the external API and writing that into a CSV file. Then finally, that information is again written to a or posted to a feature service. So the front end dashboard is automatically updated. So that is kind of an experience we are having in 2019-20 period when there's the COVID incidents. So I just want to share that because that automation is really helpful to save a lot of time. So I think Satira, you can continue now. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Supun. And I think we have so because of the limited work time, limited time, I only covered the main areas, but of course, I think we will in future we will conduct some of more advanced topics. Okay, sure, we'll do more practical sessions. Can you provide the relevant sample codes? Of course, I mean, just drop us an email. We'll be able to provide you. Okay, we'll so the chat says we need more sessions. Obviously, in the future, we'll arrange those sessions. Okay. And do you have any other questions? Okay, so if not, okay, there's one question. I did not understand the relationship between Jupyter and the ArcGIS API for Python. Okay, so the Jupyter is an environment, right? So it's a notebook. Okay, imagine you have a book where you want to write codes, right? So you have one side you have that environment, and then on the other hand you have this ArcGIS API Arc environment, right? So using this API, you can connect this your ArcGIS organization, whether it's an online or enterprise, with the Jupyter. So it is this Jupyter. It is designed for specially for data science related things. Okay, so that is the relationship between the Jupyter and the ArcGIS API for Python, right? Okay, so in future we'll be arranging more sessions. Okay, so if you don't have any other questions, I'll hand over Chamodini to conclude this webinar. Chamodini.
Yeah, thank you, Satira. So, okay, now it's time to wind up our webinar session. So thank you all our participants for your active participation and contribution. So we have some upcoming trainings and webinars about some WebGIS and drone mapping, and also some applying WebGIS trainings. So please contact us for your training requirements. So okay, so we hope you had a great learning experience with us today. So we look forward to seeing you all again in our upcoming webinar. Thank you, everyone.